Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. I see you all made it through the closed roadways and got here, so we're so glad to see you. You are in the right place at the right time. Isn't that right, Ann?
That's right, just where you're meant to be, whether you're here live in person or live streaming with us. Let's sing about how we're welcome here.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh my soul is welcome here. Oh my soul is welcome here. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome.
Glimpsing the Christ by Reverend Rick and Lisa Lawson will give the meditation today.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Everybody's welcome here. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome.
I'm getting the message.
I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Let me hear you sing it. My soul is welcome here. You know you're welcome. My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome. Everybody. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. You know you're welcome here.
Good morning, SLC. And good morning, new handrail. Thank you, Gil. And I must say, my first ministry was at Tulsa, and they had a marathon, and they closed the church down. I am so delighted that you guys, the fortitude to get around the traffic, and so welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, Reverend Janae.
Good morning, Reverend Rick. Excuse me. And good morning, SLC. We greet you today in the name of all that is good and all that is beautiful and all that is holy, and in the warm and loving presence of this community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people, worshiping in temples and mosques and churches and stone circles and the beautiful temples of nature, because we know there is no spot that God is not. And if it's your first time joining us, we especially want to welcome you, and we want you to know that you're not here by accident. We're all here by
Divine appointment.
And so just a reminder to please silence your electronic devices and no flash photography during the service. Thank you.
And this is the second Sunday of Advent. The second candle represents peace, and the daily word is peace. The affirmation is, perfect peace dwells within me and all beings. As I prepare for a fuller experience of my divinity this Advent season, I turn my attention to cultivating peace of mind and heart. This inner preparation invites me to look beyond my circumstances and attune to the deeper harmony that underlies all creation. Whether I am in a busy city or a calming natural setting, I trust that each day will dawn in perfect alignment with the heavenly bodies of the cosmos. Likewise, whether I feel anxious or calm, I trust heavenly peace is within me. Aware of my peaceful nature, I choose thoughts, words, and actions that honor my spiritual self. My presence restores calm in chaos, invites serenity to ease distress. My tranquil demeanor magnifies the peace of God. And from Paul's second letter to the Thessalonians, we read, "Now may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times in all ways. The Lord be with you always." Today's daily word is peace. Dear Spirit, thank you for this Advent season. Help us to remember the real reason for this season, the Christ within, that spirit, that consciousness. Thank you for SLC, this wonderful spiritual community on a metaphysical hill with a powerful message, not just for Sacramento, but for the world beyond. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. This week, the week before or several weeks ago, we lost Phil Pearson and made his transition. This week, many of us were amazed that Reverend Dr. Paul Hasselback made his transition. Paul was a leading metaphysician in the Unity movement. He was my teacher and teacher of several of you in the congregation. Paul really brought Unity metaphysics into the 21st century. He was a powerful teacher. Many of you know a lot of his books, but particularly heart-to-heart-centered metaphysics. My copies of Paul's books are scotch-taped and duct-taped up, and I say they're taped up because Paul's teachings have really taped me up through a lot of the storms and hassles, as it were, in life. He will be deeply missed, but I know Paul's influence will continue and continue to help many seekers of truth and metaphysics. And so he will be missed. We also say our mission statement. These are words that remind us of who we are here to be. Let's say them together. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world as we love, serve, and remember. And we also say these 5 unity principles, which quite frankly, a lot of times when we hit the potholes in life can get us through. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action. And one of the actions we're taking are December birthdays. Please stand.
December babies.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
I hope those online are standing too.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Go ahead. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya.
Friends, I want you to know we are really trying to keep the announcements as short as possible. But however, I go back to the Apostle James, where the Apostle James said, this is the essence of real religion, that you take care of the widows, that you feed the orphans, that you you are interested in those who are marginalized in your society, that you're creating koinonia, community and love within your fellowship. I got to compliment this congregation because you are doing that in so many ways, particularly during this Christmas season. So I would suggest looking at the announcements, not as, but look at them as letters of love. And there is a lot of love in this congregation being expressed right now. What's on your love letter?
Isn't that the truth? On our love letter is our Wednesday night service this night is extremely special. We will have our SLC prayer circle, our oneness prayer circle, and that starts at 5:30. And we'll have our community meal at 6. And then at 7, our program this Wednesday is our Advent spiral, Advent garden spiral. And how many of you have been to this service? It is just such a beautiful sacred service, and I just invite you all to come and experience this Advent season with the beautifully sacred ceremony for our entire community, both young and old. And so we'd love for you to bring your little ones. They would love this spiral. And the garden spiral portrays the 4 kingdoms of earth: mineral, plant, animal, and human, all of those waking to the coming of the light. Accompanied by soft music and sharing, you're all invited to journey to the center with a candle where you meet the light and then carry your own unique flame back out into the world. And you're welcome to linger for a while and witness the ever-expanding light that radiates out in this community. So I hope you'll all be there. It's a beautiful, beautiful service.
I feel very grateful for our community action team. One of the things which they are doing is the Windspring gift giving. There's a gift cards on a tree in the courtyard for children, foster children, to give gifts to them. Please take one of the cards and bring the gifts back by December 14th. Also, there's going to be a foster children gift wrapping party Monday, December 15th from 3 to 5 p.m. Windspring Family Resource Center, which is 2211 Park Towne Cir, Suite 4. It's just the building right next to SLC. The other thing which the Community Action Team is doing is the food drive, which is so important. SNAP, if you've been reading, SNAP has not snapped back fully. Food insecurity is up in our community and in our nation. And so please bring the dry goods, the canned goods, and you'll see out in the courtyard a red basket where we are collecting. And I think this truly, truly, truly is important.
Yes. Next week, I hope that you will all be here. We are going to be celebrating Reverend Deborah Phillips next Sunday at both services. We'll be thanking and honoring her during the service, and you'll have the opportunity to connect with her and thank her and love her up after service. And we invite you to bring some cookies for fellowship and come and join us in thanking and loving up Reverend Deborah next Sunday.
And also, your community meeting?
Yes, and today is our community meeting, the last one of the year. It will be at 1:15 today and run till 2:45. And we are going to give you a brief overview of our draft strategic plan. We hope that you can all be there. And for the time in between church and the community meeting, our men of spirit are serving hot dogs in the kitchen. So we invite you to grab a dog and some chips, and then come for our community meal or our community meeting at 1:15, and all the proceeds from the hot dog sale go to our youth and family ministry. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Several really dynamite classes are starting up in January. One is being given by our own Lisa Lawson called The Practice of Exquisite Self-Care. It will be an 8-week class led by Lisa. It will be on Zoom at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays from January 6th to March 3rd. There's no class on February 3rd, but I think this was really an important class. I remember Reverend Aaron McCabe, who is the senior minister at Unity Village Chapel, which is right in the heart of Unity Village. And she said, you know, ministers talk about self-care, but it's something they usually stink at, you know. So, I mean, seriously, I think a lot of us have this tendency when we're in the metaphysical airplane and the metaphysical air hoses come down, we're putting them on everybody else but ourselves, and you know, we're passing out and no use to anybody. So I think Lisa's class is the right class for, you know, what many of us are going through, and I think it's going to be a powerful class. The second class is going to be an in-person book study called The Hidden Power of the Bible. It will be facilitated by Dr. Mary Bell. Comes to us from Centers for Spiritual Living. I've met with Dr. Mary. She is, I think, a dynamite teacher. It's going to be really good. So it's going to be based on Ernest Holmes' book, The Hidden Power of the Bible. And by the way, I think it's a wonderful trend. Ernest Holmes's his writings and everything else are coming to Unity Village and are going to be archived right along with Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. I think this is a fantastic trend. The class will be Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. It begins January 14th. It continues until the book is completed, and it will close after the second week on January 21st. So please come to the Wednesday class on January 14th, Hidden Powers of the Bible. You can get the book either through us or through the Dark Lord, better known as Amazon. So,
excuse me. So I hope you'll join us for our candlelight services this year. We will have 2 candlelight services this year. The first one is on Sunday, December the 21st, and on that Sunday it will be one service only, and it will begin at 10:45. And then we'll go into our regular candlelight service. The second candlelight service will be on Christmas Eve from 4:45. That's when the caroling will begin, and then the service will start and run through to 6:30. Both of these, I know many of you have come to the candlelight services, and I just feel like they're the most sacred service we do all year. And I hope you'll join us for that. And a little spoiler alert, our children are going to be singing at the Sunday service. So please come and join us for that. It's going to be really wonderful.
And looking forward to choir singing as part of that. Yeah. Following Christmas, we have the Burning Bowl. I think it's one of the most important things that Unity has added to the liturgy, where you get rid of what's no longer serving you and you start to think about what you would like coming into your life, which can serve you. There'll be 2 Burning Bowl services on Sunday, December 28th, one at 9, the other at 11. The chaplains and I will be doing the service, and we are really grateful that the music is going to come from the Lawson family. So it's going to be a dynamite burning bowl.
Excuse me. And our last bingo opportunity of the year is going to be on New Year's Eve. And I hear that the last bingo that we held was quite a hoot. Everybody had such a good time. We had more people than we've ever had. And so please come and join us for this New Year's Eve bingo. It's on Wednesday, December 31st from 4 to 6 p.m. And it's just sure to be a good time. So I hope you'll join us.
And, you know, we are so fortunate. I mean, a lot of churches are closing, believe it or not, are closing down their youth and family ministry programs. We are moving in the opposite direction, and I think we're so grateful to have Lisa and all the things that have happened in YFM. And we've asked her to come back, and report to us. Let us know what's going on.
Good morning. So it's been a really busy month for Youth and Family Ministries. And I know that you had heard that we had a youth rally, a YOU rally happening here right at SLC for the entire region, the Unity West Central region. And that was at the beginning of November. Our SLC hosted kids from the whole area
ages 11 through young adults. And they had a lot of different activities. Cameron did music, and all of these things are led by the regional YOU officers, the high schoolers themselves. And these activities help the kids know that they're valued and accepted just as they are, and how to be in community in the way that we teach. We had an amazing kitchen team who helped to make the weekend a success all around, including Janae, who made lasagna. So we'd just like to thank all of these volunteers, as well as the Men of Spirit, for your fundraiser for Youth and Family Today, and everyone who's participated in our recent fundraiser, including our puzzle drive. Thanks. Yeah. And our theme for Fun Friday this month was letting go of burdens in preparation to rest and renew in winter. And the kids didn't know this, but we're going to go on a rock walk. They didn't know, and they had to pick out these rocks, and some of them, Therese had a big giant rock, and Stefan had one. They had to, if you can go back to the slide with the rock, there you go, okay. So they had to carry their rocks all around the church until they ended up in the chapel where they had a meditation. This was about letting go of their burdens. And then Cameron, I wanted to put this in because Cameron, my son, went to Unity Village for the Next Gen retreat. And there were over 60 young people there who met in this growing movement that's revitalizing unity. Very exciting. And not to forget our young ones. After a Thanksgiving lesson based on the story of the stone soup, our Unity's Kids class is right now, this moment, experiencing an Advent garden shared by our very own Beverly Aiken. And in this Advent garden, they're learning the Christmas story while they honor the light within and elements of the earth. And then we'll end this month with a lesson on Kwanzaa. So how many of you have grandkids or neighbor kids? Ah, quite a few. Okay. Well, we have a great program here at SLC, and so I invite you to bring your family or your neighbor kids this month. Our kids are going to be on the platform singing at the candlelight service on December 21st. And then on January 3rd, we're going to be having a youth and family ministry New Year's gathering at our house in the country, mine and Michael's and Liam's house, and complete with a fire truck. So we would love to include your families as part of SLC's very special youth and family ministries. Thank you.
Okay, so there are many things that foster transformation in our lives, and prayer is a great opportunity for transformation. And our prayer chaplains are available to pray with you in the courtyard after the service. If you have a challenge or a joy, they would love to be with you during that experience. So please see them after the service in the courtyard. And you can also check out our weekly small groups and other offerings. The What's Happening information has moved, and it's now in our sanctuary lobby, and it's really wonderful. Please come and check it out. And you can go to the hub and sign up for any of the events that are listed there, and you can find out all of that and so much more on our webpage to know all of what's happening at Spiritual Life Center.
And we come here for so many reasons, but one of them is for koinonia, for that connection. And I'm going to be so grateful to be able this week to walk among you and share that connection. So thank you. So let's do that now.
And a hush fell over the room. That works for Mark Stanton Welch. So as we continue our metaphysical journey on our trip to Bethlehem, I thought that I would write some different lyrics to this very, very ancient song, O Come All Ye Faithful, written in 1751 by John IV of Portugal. But we've got some New Thought lyrics to try today.
So watch those screens. Please join me in singing. Oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold this soul of divine
Thank you, Ann and music team. Paula, thank you. Wow, those lyrics, fantastic. I'm trying to get more of you up here on the platform for transformative moments. And Joella spoke to me a few weeks ago about what was happening with her. And I said, please, could you come on up and share this? And so let me turn it over to Joella.
Is this on? Yeah. Okay. So about 3 weeks ago, Reverend Rick spoke to me and all of us at the 9 o'clock and the 11 o'clock service about two-way prayer. I have been attending Spiritual Life Center for 25 years, and I had never heard about two-way prayer. So while I sat in the back and listened, I felt my interest growing. I found the idea of writing to my higher power and my higher power responding to me intriguing. Traditional prayer, one-way prayer, started for me when I was a little Catholic girl praying by my bed next to my mother. By the time I was 16 years old, I had given up on prayer. I was slightly wild. I did grow out of it. I stopped going to church. I stopped praying. I remember screaming at my mother, "You cannot force me to go to church. You cannot force me to pray." And she said, "Watch me." I started praying again in my early 40s, but often felt like a fraud for focusing on my own needs. I believed I was begging God for more love in my life, better health, a new job, more friends. I didn't like begging, so I stopped praying again. Even with gratitude in my life that I learned about from coming to this church, I felt a quiet longing and a persistent void. 3 weeks ago, I felt ready for a deeper connection to Spirit. I had just completed the 7-week Faith in Action, and then Reverend Rick complemented that by talking about two-way prayer. After listening to him, I went home and researched on what he said, because I am a bit of a doubter. So I went home, I Googled two-way prayer, I YouTubed two-way prayer deep into the day, and by the time it was dark outside, I decided to give two-way prayer a chance. So I started writing my prayers and seeking a response from my higher power. I began typing sincere questions from me to Spirit. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was going to just sit there and draw a blank. But I expressed my heartfelt need for guidance. Then I paused to listen quietly for inspiration. I addressed Spirit with endearment, listened for an inner response without judgment, and wrote down whatever emerged. I continued to type God's response to my prayer without editing, without question, and I simply let it flow. When I finished reading the response from God that poured out of me, I was amazed by the guidance I received. Did I really write this? Was this a higher power speaking through me? I value my willingness and vulnerability, because it is vulnerable to lay your spirit out on paper. I value my willingness and vulnerability in prayer. It's not always been easy for me. What used to feel like begging is now meaningful reality in my spiritual life, a genuine conversation with the divine. And I thank Reverend Rick for speaking about two-way prayer 3 weeks ago, and I've now written about 20 of them.
Thank you, Joella. Now as we settle in for the contemplative portion of our service, I invite you all to take a nice deep breath. Drop into that beautiful heart space. And let's begin by speaking our vision statement together. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions. Weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom, we cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. Please join me in singing. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and that spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free. As I continue walking in this mystery, I will surrender to my greatest, highest goal. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day, and I am stronger every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment, every day.
We stay in the stillness of this beautiful song. Surrendered to my greatest, highest good. In this place, we make the choice to let go of everything else. Take a conscious breath, filling your body with the breath of life. Acknowledging Spirit, and let it go, along with anything you may have brought with you today that is apart from this deepest, highest good. In this place of stillness, we open our vision and are taken anew by the glorious light of our guiding star. That light within that leads us to our Bethlehem, our place of peace. Resting here, we are lifted and we feel its presence, and we feel the desire to follow this bright, bright light. How beautiful it is. How wonderful. How rich is the life before us as we travel, as we walk along our chosen path. We open our hands to receive all of the blessing of this light, of this presence, filled with all that is ours to live, to be, to express. For we have caught a glimpse of the Christ, that within you and within me that is your and my deepest, highest self. Our deepest desire becomes to surrender to all that is good, all that is, the source within expressing as you, as me, as us, connected in divine harmony, in the oneness that is the truth of our being in this heaven on earth. For it is as we step forward in faith, guided by the light, grounded in the divine, that we perceive this dimension that is heaven on earth, our place of peace. It is in faith, the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen, that brings us to our power to shape our lives in radiance and in joy. In this joy, we feel the love that is at the heart of this beautiful community. It is our true nature, and we rest in strength and in divine wisdom as we spend a few moments in the silence. We are guided. We are joyful and free. We come together in love to be the light, to know and to be all that is our deepest and highest good. And so it is. Lead me to the light. Lead me to the light. Help me to make it through. Lead me into the light. Make my eyes to see all that I could be. Help me to see it through. Lead me into the Turn my mind today to the sacred way. Help me to be with you. Lead me into the
Thank you, Ann and music team. Thank you, Lisa, for a beautiful, beautiful meditation. You know, it's this time of year we often hear, it's the most wonderful time of the year, and fa la 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 la. But I mean, but come on, gang, if we're honest with ourselves, sometimes many of us can feel like the Grinch and Ebenezer Scrooge at this time of the year. I mean, if nobody related to the Grinch or old Scrooge, then Dr. Seuss and Charles Dickens would not have had blockbuster hits with those characters. I remember a number of years ago, I was morbidly obese. I'd like to say that I was festively plump, but I mean, let's get to the truth. So anyway, I health challenge and all that, lost the weight. Be glad to tell you individually, how it happened and all that. spoiler alert, it was a spiritual solution. But, I got through my first Christmas. It was easy peasy. I mean, all the food and everything, fine, no alcohol, fine. I came to the second Christmas thinking it's going to be easy peasy. Oh my gosh, it was not. Oh, I felt if I have to go to another cocktail party holding a glass of club soda and not having, the hors d'oeuvre, I'll go ballistic. And then, and I'm so glad for Joella and what Joella shared about two-way prayer. I mean, seriously, really, God spoke and said all that in the past, but now he's developed a case of permanent laryngitis, and, I think Reverend Marianne Williamson, so right, our playing small is not, enhancing anything. Yes, the still small voice wants to speak to us, wants to communicate with us. Well, anyway, call it the Christ within, still small voice, higher self, whatever it was. That there's that part which gives you so much better advice than your normal everyday ego, is giving you. And this voice said to me, Rick, you're complaining, you're sitting around crabbing about what you can't have and all that. Think about all the things that you can have which are associated with Christmas and start enjoying them. Well, I thought, one of the things I enjoy are the lights. You can't eat the lights, I mean. So, the lights, and you love music, and churches and synagogues, they're doing wonderful music productions this time of year. Go to them. And the other that came to me, we were living in Northern Virginia at the time. There's a wonderful group in D.C., Washington, D.C., called So Others Might Eat. And I started volunteering for them. And between the lights, the music, and volunteering at So Others Might Eat, I started seeing glimpses of that Christ within, and what was a Grinchy Christmas turned around into being a very beautiful Christmas. In Unity, we say that the essence of what this season is all about is the rebirth of the Christ within. And I was so touched by Paula's rewriting and the lyrics. I think it really gets to the heart of it. Charles Fillmore one time was asked, what's the most powerful line in all the Bible? And he responded without a moment's hesitation, the most powerful line in all the Bible is in Colossians in the first chapter. Christ in you, the hope of glory. Christ in you, the hope of glory. We've been doing this series on Reverend Hypatia Hasbrook, talked about her a bit last week. Her book on positive prayer, just Handbook on Positive, really blew me away. I mean, I really feel I got my grounding in affirmative prayer from her wonderful book. But she wrote another one called The Trip to Bethlehem. So it's the 1960s. She makes her first trip to the Holy Land, and she is, really liking it. And she's in Jerusalem. She wants to go to Bethlehem. It's 6 miles away, so how big a deal can that be to go from Jerusalem to Bethlehem? Well, if you're in the middle of the Arab-Israeli conflict, it's big doings. I mean, the checkpoints, the this points, the papers, and this extra special paper. I mean, it was a 2-day excursion. It was a 2-day excursion, and she really felt, this is sort of like a metaphysical metaphor. For a lot of us, I mean, there's that flickering star, our flickering star of Bethlehem. A lot of times it has to flicker a lot before we're willing to follow it. I know that was my case in terms of the call to ministry. But finally, you're following it, and it's a lot of times, as we talked about last week, it's not the easiest thing in the world to get to Bethlehem, your metaphysical Bethlehem. And but that there are tremendous rewards when we do. And she talks about some of the common ways in which we lose sight of the spirit of the Christ within. And I'm going to talk about 3. I don't think this is an exhaustive list, but I think these are 3 common reasons why so many of us a lot of times lose sight of that Christ within, with that Christ within and glimpses of the Christ. The first reason is what I would call overload. Overload, or what I'm going to define for you, what I call the Peter Michelson syndrome. Now, we lived in one house, the Belous family here. I was Ricky B. And next door were the Michelsons, and that was Ricky M. We were best friends. And as a matter of fact, we went to college together, and et cetera. But Ricky M. had a little brother named Peter Michelson. Peter was sort of like Dennis the Menace on steroids. I mean, oh, God. For example, one day he took out his mother's lipstick and all that, and he started drawing on the walls of the house, and his mother came home and was livid. Little Peter looked at him and said, "Don't worry, Mom, Mr. Clean can clean your whole house and everything that's in it." Well, so it's Christmas, and in New York, the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus would always come to Madison Square Garden. So one Christmas, the Belous family, the Michelson family, we all go to sing Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey's three-ring circus. There's Ricky M. on this side. I'm over here. Peter's in the center. And Ricky Michelson says, look, the tiger act is in, Gunther Gable Williams is in over there. And I'm saying to him, look, the tightrope walker is in ring 3 over here. And Nancy, his older sister, is leaning in and said, look at the dog act over there. And little Peter, he just goes, I hate the circus, that overload coming in. I think many of us go through that, with long to-do lists and everything. When and if this happens to you, the suggestion is stop, breathe, take a breath. And, if you go back to, spirituality and spiritus and all that, in the Latin comes from breathing. And a universal concept, I love it, that great Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh, a lot of times when he talked about spirituality, he would center on breathing and the breath. Stop, breathe, reconnect. And also remember that the word no is a complete sentence. You don't have to do everything on the to-do list, or every time somebody asks you, come here, do there, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to say no. You don't have to say yes to everything. One of the things I admire so much about Jesus, many things, but one in particular, is that every time the bell rang, Jesus didn't feel he had to go into the ring. He didn't feel he had to defend himself every time he was attacked. He didn't feel that every time somebody said, you should be doing this, he actually, went out and did it. And he had the ability to say no. And I think if we can stop, breathe, reconnect, and rationally sometimes say no, then we can start glimpsing the Christ again, despite the overload of the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey circus that might be in your life during this holiday season. The second reason, which I would go to, why a lot of times I think we lose the glimpses of the Christ within, I go to that great spiritual teacher, Elvis Presley. I'm going to have a blue Christmas without you. And seriously, death or changes in family structures or time periods or whatever. Blue Christmases can be really serious. One of the things I treasured, there was an associate minister at my old home Unity Church in Unity of Fairfax, and she would always hold a Blue Christmas service around this time of the year, beginning of December, for people going through Blue Christmas, but also to remind the rest of us who might not be, that for a lot of people, this is not the most wonderful time of the year. This can be a very, very difficult time of the year. And I remember very much the first Christmas after my late wife Debbie died, roughly around 9 years ago. And, oh gosh, Christmas. And another songwriter, Joni Mitchell, I think really and a lot of times hit the nail on the head. And with this song, it's coming up Christmas. They're chopping down trees. They're putting out reindeer. They're singing songs of joy and peace. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. And a lot of people go through that on this holidays, the holiday season. And for me, I remember it was an evening service. We came out and it's dark, so you can see into the windows of all the homes. And it seemed like every home you could see into was some loving couple together, some, couple together. And one of my favorite poets is Gerard Manley Hopkins. Was a British priest in the 1800s. He's famous for what's called sprung rhythm. It almost sounds, a lot of his poetry sounds almost like bebop jazz. But the line that hit me as I was looking in those windows was, birds build, but not I build. Birds build, but not I build. I'm never going to be in a relationship like I had with Debbie, and it's all over. To quote Bob Dylan, it's all over now, baby blue. I mean, so we were in Tulsa, First Ministry, and to add to this, Blue Christmas season, forget about any glimpse of the Christ. Oh my God, I'm pastoring my first church. Rick, you got to hold it together. You're supposedly the adult in the room. And I'm a single parent with a 2-year-old and a 13-year-old daughter, and you got to hold it together. I don't know, I was one time feeling lower than pond scum. And fortunately, Tulsa has very good coffee houses. And I went into one of them with a El Cheapo notebook, sat down at a table, had my decaf coffee, started writing a letter to my higher power, pouring out what I really thought, divine order. Would it have violated some divine order if she died at 49? Would it have violated some divine order if she could have lived to 50? I mean, just pouring it out, but then ending with a gratitude list. Ending with a gratitude list about the so many things that I honestly, truly had to be grateful for. And feeling well loved by my higher power, despite all the, if I were God, I would have done it better than you. So I mean, that sense of well loved, no matter what I had said, and it was an incredible experience, starting to feel the Christ within again. I mean, and the interesting thing was that not one thing in the outside world had changed. Not one thing in the outside world had changed, but my consciousness had changed. And when my consciousness changes, I can see millions of glimpses of the Christ within, despite it all, and also because of it all, as it were. And when that happens, we can start to see glimpses of the Christ within, even though there are conditions which may be creating a blue Christmas. The third reason, which I think is a lot of times prevalent, I know this is, sounds like a really old-fashioned word, not a word of the 21st century, but that word is idolatry. I mean, it was interesting. Every week I go through these talks with my old homiletics preacher teacher. He watches the tape or the video of what I did last week, beats me up, and then I give him a dry run of what I'm going to do next Sunday. He beats me up again. And so I finished this one. He said to me, idolatry, you need to define it. I said, all right, well, idolatry is essentially when you put your faith in a false god and you think that false god is going to save your keister. He said that was a good definition, but now you have to define keister. So, I mean, we so often, many of us, put our faith in gods that fail, that are not going to bring us the peace that passes all understanding. The corner office, the paycheck, now that it finally has enough zeros in it, if I'm just in the this love relationship or whatever. We're in that love relationship, and and that hunger still a lot of times is there, and realizing that I love the symbol which we're going to be putting back, and on the bottom it says, "Many paths, one God." And we do honor all paths that lead to spiritual enlightenment, and we don't claim a monopoly on, the one path that does that. But to realize that when we start putting our faith in so many false gods, it's not going to satisfy, and we're not going to be seeing glimpses, as it were, of the Christ within. Reverend Hasbrook goes back to those 12 powers. Remember Charles Fillmore, 12 powers. We have them all inside of us. And she says, you really want glimpses of the Christ within? She goes to 3 of those 12 powers. She goes to the power of imagination, faith, and will. In the power of imagination, she said, imagination is so important. She writes, the faculty of imagination plays a crucial part in any creative endeavor, for it is the ability to actually conceive the possibility of any new thing or condition. As we hold the idea of the new, it gathers more and more mental or spiritual energy until it impels us to bring it into manifestation. And still we can then have the power, believe it or not, to bring it into manifestation. When my daughter Therese was in kindergarten, oh my goodness, they were learning to write numbers, and we came to the number 5, and she kept on inverting it and not writing it. And she finally says, I'm so stupid, I'll never be able to draw number 5s. And I said, dear, as long as you feel that way, that's probably what's going to happen. But if you can say to yourself, it's going to be hard work drawing the number 5, but eventually, if I keep this up, eventually I will be able to draw the number 5. That's the ticket to actually drawing number 5. So are you willing to give it a chance? She said, yes, I'll give it a chance. So, my God, a day or two later, she's drawing perfect number 5s. She too, like Peter Michelson, gets lipstick, starts drawing number 5s on fortunately, she didn't tell me Mr. Clean could clean my whole house and everything that's in it. But that power of imagination is so important. The other, which Reverend Hasbrook goes to, is faith. She says, faith is our ability to believe and trust that God's will is for our highest good, even before the good has appeared. Even before the good has appeared. And when we're on that beam and on that ticket, then we are starting to go back to being able to get glimpses of the Christ within. The last one she goes to is the power of will, of making a choice, of making that choice. I had the good fortune of studying under Reverend Edwin Gaines, that great unity minister, wrote about prosperity. Made her transition a few years ago. But I remember there would be times she would be giving workshops, and people would come up to Reverend Gaines and say, Edwin, oh gosh, I wish I had your faith, or I wish I had. And she would say, don't wish about it, do it. Make the choice. Make the decision. You're going to act as if. Think about what would you be feeling and thinking if you really did feel yourself prosperous or whatever. What would you be doing? What would you be thinking? And it goes so much back. It's a famous story about Reverend Edwin Gaines, the pitted olives. And it's in her book on the 4 laws of spiritual prosperity, but I just love it. So anyway, and I'm not telling stories out of school, because Reverend Gaines, said I was dirt poor, I was a single mom, I didn't know where the bills were going to be paid with, and she fell into New Thought and really started thinking, well, let's really practice these principles. So what would I, if I really felt prosperous, what would I be doing? Well, I'd be booking an international trip. So she books she goes sees a travel agent and starts booking a trip to Mexico. Doesn't have a dime to rub together to do this. And then she said, well, we start be living, and she was going with a friend, we'll start to live, imagine we're in Mexico already. So she goes out and she gets the kiddie pool. She fills the kiddie pool with water. She puts up it wasn't Christmas. She puts up Christmas lights. And she then says, well, we got to she goes out and buys a jug of, cheap wine with the twist off, whatever. And, but we got to get something fancy, something which is luxurious. And she looks on the shelf and she sees there are these olives where the pit has been taken out and an almond has been put inside the olive. That's luxury. She buys them. So she's sitting in the kiddie pool with her friend with the Christmas lights, drinking jug wine and eating these olives which have almonds inside of them. They still don't know where the money is coming from to pay the travel agent. But then her mom calls and says, there's this letter I got from one of your old friends. And so she goes over, opens the letter, and it says, Dear Edwene, I can't track you down, but I found out where your mom lives, so I'm writing there. Remember when we were living together and you left and you said, it's just Salvation Army furniture, sell it, you keep the money, don't worry about it. Well, it turns out we were owning several rare antiques, which I got a pretty penny for, and I never paid you your half of this, and I felt guilty about it. Here inside the envelope is the money which I feel I owe you from the sale of the furniture. Edwene pulled the money out. It was the exact amount to the penny of what was owed to the travel agent. They're in Mexico, and it's a plaza. It's a plaza restaurant. They're eating outside, summer night. The band is playing away and all that. They order drinks, and the waiter comes up and says, "Oh, we want to give you with your drinks, we want to give you this wonderful," and puts it down. And Wayne says, "We didn't order." "Oh, no, it doesn't matter. You didn't order it. Here." And she looks at it and takes it. And what is it? It's an olive with the pit taken out and the almond put in. And so there they were in Mexico. I think, so many of us read the Daily Word, but a lot of us just read the Word. We don't read the stories. There are wonderful stories in here each month. And I think the one of them in this month's by Reverend Kurt Condor, who is a Unity minister in Illinois, I think just hits all this about getting glimpses of the Christ despite it all. He remembers his mom's family was the King family, and he remembers King family Christmas parties. Oh, they were wonderful. Well, his grandmother, his mother's mother, died when his mother was very young, and her three older brothers really wanted to protect and make sure Christmas was incredible. So they had great, one of the parts of the celebration was the talent show, and Reverend Kurt remembered one year where they did a version of, remember Burl Ives and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? They did a version of that. And he said, we sang the 12 Days of Christmas, and my mother, who was usually very demure, my mother owned the 5 golden rings because she sang it with such gusto, and they tapped her every year to do it. Well, then Reverend Kurt says, the King family Christmases that we knew are gone and will always be gone. Families are like constellations made of stars that are always moving. Some drift apart, others come closer, some die, others are born. He writes, the heart of Christmas isn't tied to one season, one day, or one version of the family. It lives on through the intention to behold one another, whether through marriage, through birth, through friendship, or faith. And he adds, I can't return to the King family Christmases of my childhood, but it lives on in me, not as a fixed memory, but as a spirit I pass on. When we create spaces of belonging, When we make the effort to come together, laugh together, tell our stories together, make up new ones together, we are honoring the sacred thread that runs through all of it. And he adds, this Advent, I remember that love doesn't look the same year to year. Love does not look the same year to year. But what never changes is the blessings of gathering, to choose one another, share ourselves, and believe that no matter what form it takes, the light of love shines through us. Friends, it is important that we have glimpses of the Christ within. And let's not be parochial about it. It's important that we have glimpses of the Buddha nature within us, or of Lao Tzu's way within us, or Krishna riding on our chariot, or Kokopelli playing his flute, or Thoreau walking us around Walden Pond, or Aldous Huxley and his library of perennial philosophy. And if those glimpses are few and far between, then it is important to remember that we all have the powers of imagination, faith, and will. And if we can live in honesty and openness and wonder, then this can be the most wonderful time of the year, despite it all. And you know what? Because of it all. Thank you, and God bless. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was really wonderful. So next week, we have Reverend Rick and his services relighting the fire. And I also want you to know that the music next week is going to be off the charts. We've got Bejan, Anne, Larry, and Lori, right? The dynamic music team. So you really don't want to miss that. I hope you'll don't want to miss that. So it looks like I have my stuff in the wrong order again. I apologize for that. So, do we have any newcomers that are here today? Oh, wonderful. Welcome. I got a little ahead of myself. If we have any newcomers online, you can go to SLC World and click on the Connect button and fill out the card. And this will let us know that you're watching, and it'll also allow us to keep you informed of what's going on here at Spiritual Life Center. I want to welcome our newcomer. You've been given a card to go fill out and bring to the welcome table in the courtyard. And when you bring that card, you'll receive a warm welcome and a special gift. So thank you for being here and welcome. We're glad you're here today. So we have an opportunity to help support Spiritual Life Center. You can text SLC Love to 44321 or go to our website and click on the donate button. You can also mail in your check, a hard copy check for your love offering if you'd like. And if you're online and you want to spread this wonderful consciousness, please use the click, like, comment, share, subscribe, or whatever it is on the platform that you're on to help us spread this wonderful word. So it's that time in our service where we're going to collect our love offering. For those of you that have your offering with you, please hold it to your heart. And those of you who donate electronically, just symbolically hold that to your heart as we say our love offering together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
There is no mountain that can't be parted. There is no mountain that can't be moved. there's hope for the heavy-hearted. The weak will find their strength renewed. You just gotta have faith. You just gotta have faith. It's like for the shadows, you're all your tomorrows. It's knowing your strength through the sun and the rain. It's when you believe it before you can see it, and you can walk on. The Spirit's making a way. Just gotta have some faith, faith. Just gotta have some faith, faith. Searching for purpose and all the waiting, praying through so many silent hours, finding a breath when you feel like fading, learning to love where you are right now. You just gotta have faith. It's like for the shadows, we're all your tomorrows. It's knowing your strength through the sun and the rain. It's when you believe it before you can see it, and you can walk on. Spirit's making a way. Just gotta have some faith, faith. 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 Remember your refuge is right there within you. There's light for the shadows and hope for tomorrow. It'll always be there through the sun and the rain. It's when you believe it before you can see it, and you can walk on. Spirit making a way. Just gotta have some faith, faith. Let me hear you sing. Just gotta have some faith, faith. Just gotta have some faith, faith. Just gotta have some faith, faith. You just gotta have
Thank you, dear Spirit, for the prayers in our prayer box and prayers on people's hearts, whether they be here or stuck in marathon traffic. Thank you for the investments that are made in this ministry of time, treasure, and talent. Without them, this place would fall in a heartbeat. Thank you for this time of year and the reason for this season. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. And before I forget, let me tell you, there are going to be veggie dogs and hot dogs right outside. We're going to say that wonderful prayer for protection and then sing that peace song. So let's get started. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we.